Hello. I feel like I start every podcast episode like that. Like I don't know how to start it anymore or something. I don't know. But I wanted to talk to you today about a topic that I mentioned in last week's podcast episode. If you haven't listened to it yet, it was the one that came out last Monday. It was a regular episode. Um, but we talked about what if you decide that you don't have to put yourself second, and kind of like how to set boundaries and non-negotiables and teach your kids and be the example and all of that stuff. And then I touched a little bit on the second part of that, which is where the ego kicks in. And the ego is the part of your brain, your thoughts, like whatever you think of it as. It's like that little voice in your head that is like, what if you fail? What if this doesn't go as good as you're hoping? It's just that little voice, right? It's your ego. It wants to keep up a good front, it wants to succeed. And so ultimately, if you think about your brain is wired to keep you safe. Our brains are wired for survival. It's been this way since the beginning of time. And when we step into a new behavior, a new thought, a new business, a new experience that we want to try in our lives, the ego kicks in. And it is unfamiliar. And so unfamiliar equals not safe to the ego, to the brain. And when it is not safe, well, now we could die, right? Like our brain is wired to keep us alive and help us survive. And basically, that is what it is trying to do. And so this is why I kind of like made that joke that I wake up the next morning when I try something new and I'm like, okay, I didn't die. And so we can keep trying that new thing, right? Because we know that we're not going to die from trying this new thing. And so the ego, though, is going to show you where your work is. And so when you decide that you want to do something differently in your life and that little voice kicks up, that is where the work begins. So let it be your friend. Like, allow yourself to listen to that little voice and be like, okay, ego, like, what are you telling me? And really sit back and listen for just a minute, because when you start to step into that new thing and you allow yourself to listen to what comes up, now you have a choice. Am I going to let this little voice in my head win? Or am I going to choose a different path this time so that I can create a new result in my life? And a lot of times we fall back to the old thing, to the thing that like was not getting us where we wanted to go. And so I just want you to really think about, how bad do you want the thing that you're after? How bad do you want to create a life you love with kids in tow? How bad do you want to make the money that you want to make? How bad do you want to go on those vacations and spend the time with your family? But if you're constantly letting that ego win, you're never going to get there. And this is where the breathwork method really comes in. And for those of you who don't know what breathwork is or aren't sure, I've talked about it several times on here, but breathwork helps you bypass the ego, bypass the conscious mind, and tap into your intuition, tap into your wants and desires at your purest, most authentic level. Like that version of you that you know is inside of you, that you feel, the one who has no fear and doubt and is relentless in her pursuit of the life that she wants. And she knows where she's going and she knows how she's getting there and she's just having fun along the journey. That version of you, breathwork lets you tap into her. And so that is something that is really amazing. And I have created a 4-part framework, the breathwork method. And this is what helps you embody that version of you that you want to be faster. That is what helps you get past the ego and tap into your truest essence and find the answers you are searching for. Because when you find the answers without the ego getting in your way, that is a powerful, powerful place to make decisions from. And I want you to sit down, grab a notebook, And I want you to really think about, okay, if everything were to work out perfectly and no one would be mad, no one would be upset, everything would go smoothly with this, and you would get where you wanted to go, and it would just be fun. What do you really, really want? What do you want to do in life? What do you want to do with your family? Allow yourself to dream big. And I want you to really think about, what do you want? Is that making $1 million a year? Is that living in a big bougie house that you guys can all spread out so you don't feel like you're on top of each other all winter, and your kids can have space to invite friends over? Maybe you're not worried about all the snacks that they're eating like crazy because you have plenty of money. It doesn't matter. And you can just go buy more snacks when their friends come over. And you like hosting family. So you have a guest house, and you take 4 vacations a year as a family, and you take a couple more vacations a year as a couple. And you wake up every day and you're just like madly in love with your husband, and life just feels really good. Like, allow yourself to dream. Your kids can do all the extracurriculars, and you make the money that can support that. And it just feels good. And oh, I really wish we could just incorporate like the breath work method here, because oh, it's so powerful, but it helps you tap into like the feelings and the emotions, and visualizing yourself as that version of you that has all of that. Because when you can start to feel those feelings and allow yourself to dream, you start to magnetize these things to you so much faster, and it is so powerful. And I do have a breathwork freebie. If you want to grab that, it's not the full breathwork method, but it's a daily breather that you can listen to every day. It will be in the show notes. Click that link, download that breathwork audio, listen to it, and journal after. Like, allow yourself to really dream big about the things that you want, and just start from like a neutral place. If you're like, oh, I want to make $1 million a year, and your brain starts to kick in because you haven't done the breath work to like bypass that and kind of get out of that and turn that off, I want you to really think about like coming to a neutral place. Like, okay, I know how to make money, right? Maybe you own a business and you're like, okay, I know how to make money. Like, come to a place of neutral that is a fact that your brain cannot argue with. Your ego can't argue with, you know how to make money because you're making money, right? Whether that be in a job, whether that be in your own business, you're making money. Now you can't have that like conflict, that battle in your head, because it's a fact. Your ego can't argue with facts. So if you need to come from a place of fact, like, I have purchased a home before, I can do it again. I know how to purchase a home. I have up-leveled my life before, right? You can do it again. So I want you to really think about that, because yeah, your ego's definitely going to show you where your work is. So as you're dreaming big, just noticing the things that are coming up for you. And then the next few times you do the exercise, download the daily breather, listen to that, and then go into the dreaming. And I walk you through like visualization in the breath work. And so you will really be able to like incorporate a lot of that. Really feel into that. Like, who is this next version of you that has done this work? How does she show up now that she's gotten like the fear out of her way, a lot of the doubt out of her way? And I'm not going to say it's going to go away, because it's not. You're still going to have fear, you're still going to have some doubt, but maybe that next version of you is just stepping into her power. She knows that she's so powerful. She knows that she's worthy of everything that she desires. And so she does the damn thing anyways. I want you to really think about, what would that look like for you? How would that feel for you? And how would your life change? Because I believe that it would drastically change if you allowed yourself to get to that place. Like, when you make the decision and you start to focus on where you are going and let go of where you've been, stop with the shame, stop with the guilt. Like, I wish I would have started sooner. I wish I would have done that differently. Like, get out of all of that, because that's going to keep you stuck. I want you to really focus on your future and where you're going, and how about the lens, like from the highest self, your highest self, looking at you right now, looking at all of your past experiences and viewing all of that through a lens of love and compassion? Because in this life, it is all learning, it is all moving forward. You can never go backwards and change the past. So let's decide to focus on the future and making it better than ever. So I really want you to think about that. And if the breathwork method or one of my programs is something that you are super interested in, the Breathwork Collective, I have a membership that we do a breathwork workshop every single month and a lot of other stuff in there that supports you on this journey. I offer one-to-one coaching. Like, there are so many ways to work with me. And if that is something that interests you, just reach out. You can reach out in the DMs. You can send me an email. You can find my website and reach out to me there. Like, whatever works best for you, please reach out. Book a free call. The link is in my Instagram bio. You can book a free clarity call and let's just have a conversation about where you might be holding yourself stuck back, where you might be holding yourself back, where your ego might be in the driver's seat, and let's get you back in the driver's seat. So if you're ready to become that next version, if you're ready to drop a lot of the fear and doubt and truly step into a life that you love with kids in tow, then let's freaking go. Let's do this. You deserve it. You are so worthy exactly as you are. And you get to create a life you love by being you. You don't have to be anybody else. You get to be your best self, and she's already within you. You're already her. We just get to learn together how to pull her out for you. And that is a powerful place to be. And if you are ready to do that, you're ready to embark on this journey, please reach out and let's have a conversation around it, whether I'm a fit for you or not. I am so happy to just have a conversation and help you gain some new perspectives and insight on yourself and your life. And I will talk to you next time.